You're listening to Business Talk Radio, where we take business to the next level.
Rapping with Dr. Jacalyn connects you with experts from all over the world to help you take charge of your career, your business, and your life. Rap along with us. Visit drjacalyn.com to learn how to become a guest or a sponsor. And now, the doctor is in.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. We are so happy to have you join us here on USA Global TV and Business Talk Radio. You are watching Life's Amazing Journey, and I am Dr. Jacalyn Kerbeck. I am joined every week with the star of our show, Mr. John Christian. Welcome. How are you?
Very good. Thank you, Doctor. And I hope everybody else is out there.
It's fantastic to see you. And I know you're going through change, which we love change, right? Because that's part of growing, experiencing new things. So tell us what's going on with you.
Yeah, I'm just, I follow my intuition a lot because that's one of the things that I coach. And for me, is the most important thing we need to develop nowadays is our trust in that intuitive voice within ourselves. I'm just following that, and it's time for me to have a new beginning. So that's what I'm doing. I'm just jumping yet again, as I often do, into the unknown. I'm setting up, and I'm just going to see where life unfolds from there.
Well, congratulations for taking that leap, John. And I'm wondering, as you make this change personally, how does it impact your life professionally with the work that you're doing?
Well, fortunately, because we can do so much online and keep in touch, that helps considerably. When it comes to my career as a performer entertainer, that's changed fundamentally at present because of the COVID situation. I'm learning again around that, like everybody is, how to duck and dive and be able to take on new commitments and meet them in filming and singing and all those kind of things. So we're all recreating, really.
We sure are. And of course, that's what this show is about, Life's Amazing Journey. And
Indeed.
You've brought a phenomenal guest, and I can't wait to bring him out. But before we do, would you please do us the honor of singing something for us?
I would love to, thank you. And I hope our audience appreciated that singing through a laptop is never the best quality of sound. But anyway, I love to sing, so we'll do it. And this is a song that for me is from Les Mis, and it's about Valjean, who's had a very hard life, and that hard life has humbled him and taught him humility and compassion. So in this particular song, he's actually speaking to God and saying that he is willing to sacrifice his life for the life of a young man. So it's called Bring Him Home. God on high, hear my prayer in my need. You have always been there. He is young, he's afraid. Let him rest. Heaven bless. Bring him home. Bring him home. Bring him home. He is like the sun I might have known. If God had granted me a son, the summers die one by one. How soon they fly, on and on, and I am all that will be gone. Bring him peace, bring him joy. He is young, he is only a boy. You can give, you can take, let him be, let him live. If I die, let me die. Let him live. Bring him home. Bring him home. Bring him
Oh, outstanding. So beautiful. What a great way to, at least here in the States and the East Coast, to start the day off. Thank you for that, John.
Adjusting this laptop here. Thank you. Yes, so actually, it's very interesting. There was the line in that song, he's like the son I might have known, interestingly enough. When I met our guest today, our guest speaker, Tony, I kind of had that feeling, you know, you have an instant rapport with some people, and that's what it was like with Tony. So, and I still feel that, even though we don't get the chance to see each other very often. It's never a chance encounter with anybody. There's always some deeper process that's unfolding in us, and some people trigger that more than others. So our guest today is a very talented young man. I met him, actually, we were on a training program, and this was all about how to run businesses properly and take care of yourself in that manner. So I know Tony's got a great deal of experience in that, but he's also a very professional entertainer, singer and songwriter, and he's done many things in the industry. And nowadays he's got his own brand, which I know he's going to tell you all about. And I'm looking forward to catching up with Tony, as this is the first time we've had the chance to speak for some time. So over to Tony Luu.
All right, let's welcome Tony Luu to the program. Hi, Tony.
Good morning on this side from Los Angeles. How are you?
It's wonderful to have you here, and thanks for getting up early to be part of our show.
Oh, yeah, thank you so much for having me. And it's great to see you, John. It's been a few years now.
It has, Tony.
Yeah.
That's what I was going to ask. When was it that you two met?
This was about 2017, 2018. Well, John, I know you're from the UK, but for some reason I've been thinking that we met in Germany, maybe. Or is it
actually we met in London.
Oh, it was London? Okay.
And then we reunited in Disneyland, Hollywood.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
Right.
That's awesome. So I caught you in two countries then.
And we were acknowledging one another's talents at the time.
Oh yeah. I can't forget the day that I heard you sing. You showed me one of your records in the UK then. It was at night after one of our trainings. It was a Dream Team event. And I was just blown away by your voice. I had no clue. Like when you introduced yourself, you did say that you sung, but I didn't know it was gonna be that angelic. So you're really great.
Yeah, well, thank you. Yeah, that was a song, one of my own songs, New Vision.
Yep, exactly.
About the vision of this time that we're in nowadays. Yeah.
Very true. You predicted
so
it.
It did come from above. It was divinely inspired. New vision.
Yeah.
I didn't realize when I wrote it and had the vision that how it would be unfolding so truthfully now, and how we all need to have new vision.
Yeah. I put that song on replay after you sent it to me.
Did you? Good man.
Yeah.
So did your manager, Reggie Bates.
Yeah, we're listening to it every single night. It's
wow,
amazing.
That's really cool. I'm so pleased to hear that.
Yes.
Oh, that is really nice. Tony, as you know, our show is called Life's Amazing Journey, and it sounds like you personally can attest to having an incredible journey. So I'd love to hear where you are today and how you got there, which I know is a huge question, but if we can just, we'll break it out little by little, but if you'd love to just start with that, I'd love it.
So where I am today, it's been really life's amazing journey. That's pretty much the perfect title for this, but you know, it was a long journey. I've been a personal brand now publicly for over 10 years. I started when I was 15, but now at 27, time flew. I have my own luxury brand now, Quartz Luxury. Pretty much I envisioned all of this as well years ago, but I always wanted, you know, different businesses that I can just juggle and have on autopilot where I don't have to do much, but still have some income and do really what I want to do, get people involved, whether it's friends or have an open network, to have people pretty much involved in what I do. So it's been really amazing. Just also helping and meeting entrepreneurs around the world, helping them grow their businesses and personal and business brands, and pretty much taking their lives to the next level. You know, that's what I strive for, and that's what I wake up to.
Thank you for sharing that. There are probably 100 questions I could ask based on what you just shared, but I'd love to start with, and John, jump in on this. You said that you envisioned this. So you were 15, but in your mind, you already could see where you wanted to go. And I think that's so important. And you took action, which I think makes a huge difference. So what would you say to people out there who have an idea, but they're just kind of like, well, I'm never going to make it, it's not going to work out, and you did it?
Right. So pretty much when I was young, I was kind of thrown into this public game by accident, because I accidentally made YouTube videos just for fun when I was young, and then they just eventually started getting really huge and getting millions of views, and I was getting thrown on the Jay Leno show, Saturday Night Live in New York, and it just happened at so young. And I feel like people now who are starting a little later after their teenage years, they're kind of conscious about how they look or what they're doing or what other people will think. Whereas sometimes when you're younger, you kind of just do things, and we just made a video and it got popular on accident. So pretty much to whoever really wants to start something, the first step is just taking the leap of actually just doing it and not overthinking it, not worrying about what people think. Just do it, and just do it for yourself. Remember your why, like why you want to accomplish something, why you want to help people, and pretty much that'll fuel you to accomplish all your goals and anything you want to do.
I absolutely agree with that. Yeah, because that's my life experience. As many has taught me the same thing. You know, your mind can come up with all kinds of stories as why you shouldn't and what could happen, blah blah blah. But if you trust that inner vision, that inner prompting, that's why I put so much emphasis on developing the intuitive process nowadays, because it's like a image of where your life is meant to go. And if you trust that and follow that, in my experience, to the personality mind, it's like miracles occur, doors open that you never dreamed, but that's because you're following that inner voice.
Exactly.
I have two comments to Tony and also to John. So how did you manage to keep all this success from going to your head, number one? And number two, you mentioned, both of you, about giving back and helping other people. And I think that's something that people lose track of. It becomes all about me instead of helping other people. And once you open the doors to help other people, things really start to happen. So can you, both of you, address those two questions? I'd love it, starting with Tony.
Yep. Well, as young, I always thought I was probably probably a humble kid, I hope. But yeah, just just helping people all the time. It really does fuel me because I want to see their success. Because what I noticed while I was going through transitions of either different brands or working with different people, any type of business or successful, I'd say, person or business is run by a team of people. So pretty much I realized the way you treat people, even by replying to their comments or messages online, even if you have thousands just waiting, that can really make a huge impact on people. That's what I realized. So when I was really young, before, Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok, I believe Twitter was out. So around 2008, when Facebook, Twitter was being used, those were the most popular social media sites, and YouTube as well. I would leave a lot of comments and messages unread. But later on down the road, I remembered when, because businesses go up and down, up and down. When my subscribers started going down for some reason, I really missed those people that were sending me heartfelt messages, So I went through the learning curve of I had to learn to reply to people, and every person online is actually a person. It's not just a robot who's liking your videos or you really inspiring them. They're actually really people. So that's where I pretty much got my humbleness from. That every person out there, even if it's online across the world, there's somebody, So, and they feel your success, because without the people and your audience, you don't really have much. So.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that's what I recognize in Tony, or have instant rapport to, is his sincereness of an integral character, is what I would call it, or the development of. So to me, everybody's life is a life in school for the development of character and for understanding laws of cause and effect, basically. So what I've learned the hard way sometimes is when I've been in ego, getting carried away with myself because of fame, fortune, success, things went wrong. When I learned humility and checked myself and brought myself back energetically into a place of humility and compassion and soul searching, things started to go right again. So I think these are things that we must understand nowadays. We're working with laws of nature, and they operate within us. And if we're not sitting with them on an ego level and operating them from there, we pay the price immediately.
We need to take a commercial break, but another question I have for you just quickly is, what about when people start throwing rocks? When people start cutting you down, insulting you? This just happened to me yesterday live on a show I had from one of the platforms. There were 4 people who just kept posting comments like throughout the show, that one comment after another, and they were pornographic and disrespectful. And so anyway, my question is, how do you handle those things? You're in the public eye, you're entertaining, people are looking to you, you're leaders, but not everybody's happy for you, right? We know that there's some out there. So Tony, how do you handle it?
Yep. How I see it is, I'm really sorry to hear that, but you know what? It always happens. You can't please everyone. If you want to be the president of the United States, you only need 50% of the votes. The other 50 can hate you, but as long as you get those first 50, that's fine. But it also brings me back to, because I play a lot of basketball as well, and there's trash talk on the basketball. But pretty much all in all is to say, as long as you make the last shot, then the guys are off the court, and then you stay on and you keep playing. So, but this happened to me at a really, really young age, and for a few months it kind of affected me, because all of a sudden all these hate comments were going in, and I've never really been exposed to that. But as the years carried on, I realized that anything you do, there will always be haters, but thanks for the comment, thanks for the view. That's how I really saw it. So they can hate all they want, but they still know your name, they still know who you are. And sometimes your haters are your biggest fans, because they'll probably show it to their friend. So.
I love that. Yeah, good points. John, what do you want to add to that?
Well, I think these are great lessons in life. That's how I find them. And when those things come at you, what I've looked at in myself is the only reactions come from if I believe that what they're saying, and that's counterproductive to my own trust in myself. So I think the more you know yourself, And the more you really trust your own thinking and belief systems, the least those kind of things can affect you. We don't have to like them. Nobody has to like that. But the important thing is it gives you the chance to really check, do I know my own mind? Do I know my own heart? Do I really trust myself in the face of this opportunity for learning? And if you find yourself sitting strong in your own integrity, who can take that away from you? Because they don't live inside our body. I often think like this, people say to me, oh God, the way they said that affected me. But it's not really what the person said so much as what you chose to do in your own thinking and belief systems about yourself.
Right.
And if we, like I said, actually the scriptures start with saying, to yourself be true and the truth will set you free. So I think such moments give us all the opportunity to really check, am I being true to myself?
Thank you. Thank you so much. We are going to take a break and hear from some of our sponsors, and we'll be right back. Stay with us. We've got a lot more show to go.
Hey everybody, my name is Ralph Graves Jr. I'm the host of the Ralph Graves Jr. Show, and I want to invite you to pick up my book, Unstoppable. I wrote a book called Unstoppable. It's 7 universal laws that will transform how you pursue and achieve success. The one thing that my 20 years of law enforcement has taught me is that no matter who you are, we are all governed by universal laws, like gravity. But in this book, we're going to talk about laws like the law of forgiveness, laws like the law of control, the law of intelligent practice, the law of expectancy. I was able to see how those, no matter what their background was, those who identified and treated these laws with respect, they were able to go on and lead successful lives. So pick up this book, and you can go ahead and pick it up at Amazon.com, BarnesandNoble.com, RalphGravesJr.com, where anywhere where fine books are sold. Thank you.
There are 7.7 billion people on Earth today. 40% of these people are under the age of 25. Young adults are the most fertile mission field in the world today. In Scripture, we see Jesus pouring his life into 12 young adults who he equipped to change the world and all of history. Like Jesus, we believe that the best approach to reach the world with the gospel is to invest in young, emerging leaders and equip them to build disciple-making movements. Concentric is the notion of surrounding and sharing a common center. Our center is the model and strategy of Jesus for both leadership development and ministry formation. As a global alliance, we provide equipping in biblical leadership based on Jesus' example in the New Testament. Jesus modeled for us how to make disciples that reproduce. Focusing on leadership development is key to creating movements that spread the gospel and Jesus' disciple-making strategy to young leaders around the globe. Our Ministry Alliance partners are actively equipping leaders and building movements of multiplication that reproduce the life of Christ. Join us today to equip young leaders with Jesus' strategy that will change cities and nations.
The session that we had with BCAT was really entertaining and enlightening. We were able to put together some very specific steps that we as individuals can take, and it was really fun to all come together and see sort of where we're going as a team and how we can all get there together.
We had a tremendous experience with the BCAT partners. One of the challenges that we have as an organization is to make sure that we have the right people in the right chairs doing the right thing. To do that well, you have to have synergy. You can try to dream up ways to make sure that your group does that, or you can rely on experts. We would recommend BCAT partners to anybody who's looking to take their organization to the next level.
Academy Sedan and Limo is a full-service transportation company serving the Philadelphia metropolitan area with full knowledge of the New York City, Baltimore, and Washington, D.C. areas. We pride ourselves on being the most dependable, conscientious company in the industry. Our always on-time service and dependable pricing make us the company to call for any event or occasion. Our vehicles can accommodate any size party for any occasion. Our vehicles range from four-door sedans to SUVs to minivans to limo buses to full-size tour buses and can accommodate groups of 2 to 100. We offer airport shuttle service or over-the-road service without limitation regarding mileage or time, and no drive is too long or too far. So if you find yourself in need of transportation of any type with any vehicle, give us a call at 610-842-4564 and let us show you what a real transportation company can do for you.
Use code ACADEMY2020 to receive 20% off your first 3 rides, including parking and tolls.
Ladies and gentlemen, here it is, the most listened to radio show on the planet. Even the other stations are tuned in too.
You're listening to Business Talk Radio, where we take business to the next level.
Hi, welcome back to USA Global TV and Business Talk Radio. You're watching Life's Amazing Journey with my co-host John Christian and our special guest Tony Luu. In our first segment, we were talking about his amazing journey, just a small part of it because he's accomplished so much. Tony is a global entrepreneur, and we're going to come into our second segment talking about something that is so relevant coming through this pandemic and hopefully coming out of it, is how to build a successful business. Many people have lost their business. Many people have had to leave corporate to take care of family and other types of responsibilities. Tony, we'd love to hear from you. What are some of the fundamentals that people need to build a successful business?
Yeah, well, pretty much anything in life, the fundamentals are so key because pretty much that's the platform that you're building on. And if your platform isn't stable, the higher you build, the easier it could fall down and collapse, So, but the fundamentals of building a successful business is one, just marketing, pretty much marketing, because if no one knows your business, you can have you can have the best product, but if no one knows your product, pretty much it's gone to waste, And in business, it's all about the sales. 1 sale, 2 sales, how that's going to generate your revenue. So depending on that, your marketing is going to push your product or your business to your audience, people that you don't know, unless you're knocking door by door trying to sell your product. But that's the easiest way now with the internet to get your business out there, is through marketing. And even better than marketing, though, is mostly branding, because now all businesses are perception. You don't have to have the best product or service out there, but as long as a lot of people know you and people know what you stand for, what your product does, you have familiar faces or celebrities or people who can endorse your product or service, that just gives you more credibility as a business, and people really run to what's familiar. So if they've heard of your brand before, if you're in any type of niche, like let's say for fashion, you can have 100 types of clothing brands, but if one person's heard of your, let's say, shirt, they're gonna most likely buy your shirt if they see it in the store, just because they're familiar with the brand. So that's really key with building a successful business. You need to pretty much put yourself out there, put your brand out there so people can hear it, see it, feel it, and they're more comfortable with buying your product.
Thank you, Tony. Branding is key. I know when I retired from my corporate career last year and I started this platform in August, I made a ton of mistakes. I made so many mistakes. I spent so much money that, people said, oh, I can help you with this and I can help you with that. And then it really amounted to nothing. So I hired a firm to do the branding and help take us to the next level. But one of the things I also learned, I'd love to have you comment on this, is looking for where is the money, how do you go from being a hobby to being a full-fledged business? And I think that's something that I really lost sight of, that, you have to be able to generate an income. Otherwise it's nice, hey, it's nice just to do whatever it is. But if you want to be able to pay your bills and live, you have to be able to do that. So how does that come into play, finding where the revenue, where the money's going to come from?
Yeah, I definitely think it usually, when you're starting a business, you're not going to really see money right away unless, you get super blessed or you have a huge budget to use for marketing or publishing and all that. But it's going to take time until the money comes, and you just have to be really dedicated with a game plan, try to minimize your mistakes as much as possible. So if that's either learning from other people or from their mistakes, or having partners that have the experience. But the number one tip I can give is pretty much to align yourself with people that's done what you want to do, so you can minimize all those mistakes, whether if it's spending money on marketing dollars, or, if someone has a service and they reach out to you, hey, we'll do this and this for you, but really they're just starting out as well, and they just see you as a client. They don't want to actually take care of you in the long run. Yeah. So they just get the quick check in the beginning from you, and then produce the service, and then, that's it. And they don't really give you the results. But pretty much it's aligning yourself with the right people so they can mentor you, help you along the road to pretty much minimize your mistakes. Because in business, one of my business managers say, Reggie Batts, the more mistakes you make in business, pretty much that's money. So making mistakes in business is going to cost you money. So yeah, you have to minimize that.
So true. Yes, for sure. And a question I want to ask to both of you is, so you find the right people, you find mentors, but when do you know that maybe what you're doing isn't going to pay off? Or is it that you have such incredible passion that whatever comes, you're going to figure it out? What would you say? John, I'll start with you.
Okay. Yeah. Well, certainly my experience of that is again, it's reading the signs, and you have to be around something for a while to get all the information together before you can then give that to your intuition and check it out, really. So there's always signs along the way, this is not going to work out. But then mentally we go into, but I really want it to, like you just said, so you push the boat, but then you ignore that feeling of this is not right. I'm not supposed to be doing this. So I would suggest to anybody, watch out for those very delicate moments, the feelings behind the thinkings that can lead you down the wrong path and cost you a lot in many ways. Done it myself.
Thank you, John. How about you, Tony?
Right. So sometimes a lot of people follow their passion, 100% fully. And most of the time, some of the time, it won't be profitable just because it's your passion. You kind of just have to really ask yourself, would you rather do something that you really, really, really love and not make any money out of it? You're just kind of just spending your time. Or do you want to do something that you kind of like, kind of don't, but you'll make a lot of money from it, So we all have 24 hours in the day. I say if you're spending, 4 to 6 hours on your business, and you kind of like it, but it's producing you a lot of money, you still have 18 more hours in the day to do whatever you love, So always chase the value in giving to other people. Always chase, not the money, but chase the activities that you can do to generate revenue. If you're a business owner, that's the template, really.
Yeah,
thank you.
We have to check our values. That's the key, really, is to really know our values. Where do I value putting all my time and all my energy? Have I checked that out? Is it really what I want to do, or is it just a nice idea because everybody's saying it's a nice idea, or I've got 1 or 2 talents that could make it work, but it doesn't really feel like it's me. It's exploratory.
And when you look at the I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was just saying, you can always change direction. That's the adventure of life. That's the amazing journey. Am I willing to jump into the unknown, but with sufficient awareness to check as I go along, did I make the right decision or not? And if I didn't, how do I change as quickly as possible?
Yes. Thank you. 2 other subjects I wanted to tap into. One is basically as entertainers, right? Entertainment is a business in and of itself. And although you're performing, you still have a business that has to be taken care of as well. So I'd love to hear your input on how do you go from, singing in a bar or singing in your basement or singing wherever with family and friends to it actually becoming a full-blown business where it's generating revenue.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, the entertainment business is really, really tough because anyone can wake up any day and say, hey, I'm a singer. Hey, I'm a rapper. Hey, I'm a songwriter. So there's so many people that are trying to do that all over the world. But really, you just have to differentiate yourself. And just like a business, because entertainment is a business, the way you market yourself, the way you brand yourself is really, really key, because every single person in the audience, which could be a follower or someone who supports your music and online, is actually in the real world. So pretty much gaining every single follower one by one, and having that connection with them where they're a supporter for you for life, you know, because a lot of people go through transitions in entertainment, and your following really changes. If you start out at 16 years old, the people who are watching you are probably young, but then 10 years later, your followers got 10 years older as well, so their interests have changed. So you really want to build a community and keep them for a lifetime. So you really have to build that connection with them. But yeah,
that's great advice. Thank you, John.
Very good. Yeah, I agree with Tony. You know, I think a young man. How old are you now, Tony? If I may ask.
I'm 27. We
27.
met.
You know, I mean, at the age of 27, to know what he knows, to develop the skills he's developed, it's admirable. You know, my hat goes off to you, Tony, as we say. You know, he's developed skills at 27 that I didn't develop, because we always had agents and managers to do that side of the work. You know, so all I had to do was to go out and do what I love, and that's to sing and perform and to entertain. So that was the thrust in my life. If you're doing what you love, then it energizes you constantly, and you can keep going even when it's challenging, because you love it. And if you've got a good support team, like Tony's saying, which is harder to find nowadays, but a real good support team that you trust and they're there for you, then that's the energy that keeps multiplying towards success.
Yes. Thank you, John. I'd like to close out the show with a topic that, Tony, you touched on, and I think it's fascinating, and it's generating passive income. So as a global entrepreneur, you mentioned that you have businesses, that you have teams of people, and they basically are running themselves so that you can look and do other things. What do you think are, for people who aren't global entrepreneurs, what are some ideas of good places to put your money for passive income? I know for me, I'm in the stock market and gold and real estate, but I'm just wondering, what suggestions might you have for other people?
Yeah, definitely. I would say stocks, crypto, definitely real estate, pretty much any investment you can, but pretty much know what you're putting your money into, and hopefully you have an advisor or someone that's experienced in that field before you do spend or invest any money, because investments can just disappear overnight. You can just wake up to your portfolio and it could be, you know, minus 50% or something. So really try to get advice from advisors that know what they're doing, and more importantly, have a track record of being successful in that field. And make sure that's, now with the internet, you want to make sure that if a person says, oh, I've made so-and-so with this investment, make sure that it's liable and real, because so many people can be fraud and fake on the internet nowadays just to get one more client. So the business world is full of sharks, but just know that, just look after yourself, surround yourself with the best people you can that actually care for you, and pretty much that'll help all your judgments in the long run.
Excellent. Thank you.
Right.
John, do you want to add anything to that?
I think that's perfectly summarized. I totally agree with Tony.
All right, well, we're actually at the end of our show. It's gone by so quickly. Tony, I'm going to spotlight you. Your banner is running across the bottom, but for people who are listening on the radio who can't read it, what's the best way for people to get in touch with you, and who should reach out to you?
Yep, any business owner that wants to, you know, grow and scale their business. My main company, First Class Consulting, takes care of all business growth worldwide. So we work on marketing, branding, social media, and even financial management and accounting. And my brand, Quartz Luxury, you can find me at quartzluxury.com. We just released our Reebok and Crocs shoes. So all the gear that you want worldwide, we can get it out to you. But you can all reach out to me personally on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter at Tony Luu, TonyLuu. And we can just chat about anything. You know, I'm open. My DMs are open. My messages are open to anyone. Just hit me up, ask any questions, and I'll get back to you when I can.
Thank you, Tony. It's been such a pleasure having you here. I'm so happy for you. I'm proud of you and all your success and the fact that you are focused really on helping other people and just the way you just closed it out there with, anybody can contact you. You're willing to help people. And I think that's just lovely. So thank you.
Thank you so much for having me. And John, thanks for getting me on this show. Life's journey is truly amazing, and it's really good to see you. And hopefully I'll be back in the UK as well. My wife's from London, so I'll definitely message you when I'm out there.
Wow,
You better
very
do that.
nice.
I would love that. Absolutely.
Yeah, and we have to work on a song too. If you have any songs,
Oh,
my wife and I are both singers, so we can definitely hop on a track because I love your music.
Whoa, fantastic. Thank you so
Wow,
much.
look at that. That's amazing.
And Tony, maybe you'll come back on and sing for us one day.
Oh yeah, maybe one day.
Yes, I would love that. That'd be fantastic. And thank you again for joining so early out there in LA.
Oh yeah, thanks for having me. I'm up 24/7. Businesses are 24/7. Let's get it.
Very true. All right. Thank you, Tony. Enjoy the rest of your weekend.
All right,
Thanks
you
for
as
coming
well.
on,
Catch you
Tony.
soon. Bye.
Bye.
Oh, love to Reggie.
So, John, I'm going to spotlight you, and I'd love for you to share with people how they can reach out to you and the value that you provide.
Yes, you can contact me at website www.lifebalanceportal.com and email john@lifebalanceportal.com. I have a free ebook on developing intuition, so please email me and I'll send you a copy. And I have an online training program that's keeping me busy. It's a 10-module program and it's called Skills for Life Balance. If you'd like to know more about that, again, please contact me. Love to hear from you. And this is a book that I co-wrote with 11 other storytellers, and this is about the shifts that took place in our lives. Very interesting and inspirational.
All right. Thank you so much, John.
I have one personal request.
Yes, let's hear it.
Now, I know that in America particularly, there are lots of prayer groups. So I just heard yesterday that my sister has breast cancer, which is returned to her. So I really appreciate it if anybody listening would put out some prayers, not only for my sister, but for the condition that we're in the world right now with all the symptoms going on. Because I think prayer is our most powerful tool and we need to return to it.
Absolutely. I'm sorry to hear that, John, but I'm happy to pray for. What is your sister's first name?
Rita Jones.
Rita Jones. Okay, let's pray for Rita Jones. Absolutely. Thank you. We wish her the best. Yeah. And we wish you the best with your transition. So I look forward to hearing more next week when you come back and join us again.
Me too.
All right, John, take care. Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye for now.
We have a full day of programming. We're programming, I think we have 7 more shows today. So our next one is coming up. It is A Better You, lessons from the best coaches, consultants, and trusted advisors. This is a presentation platform show, so it's not an interview show. I have hand-chosen people from around the world who come on our shows. We have 7 shows a week, and they teach us a 15-minute lesson to help us be better personally or professionally. If you're interested in joining us and sharing the knowledge that you have with our audience, we'd love to have you. We're actually going to be retiring A Better You in 3 weeks, and we have a new platform that will be similar but much more ramped up and going out to many more platforms. It's called Talking Heads, and we have the Talking Heads Academy that we're rolling out, where you can earn passive income like Tony just talked about. You can put your content up on the platform, align it with a 5-question quiz for each lesson, and then people can get certified on your content. There also is a ton of gamification, so people can stay there and play games. They can also buy content from other content creators. So this is a global platform, and we are launching it in September. I think it's September the 16th is the date. So if you're interested, please do contact me. You can be a presenter, or if you want to be a guest on one of our shows, we have 18 shows a week. Just reach out to me, Jacalyn, at drjacalyn.com. All right. Thank you again, John. Thank you, Tony, and blessings to everyone. We really appreciate you being here. See you soon.